Welcome, Black Hollywood Live fans. On today's Fit Club, we talk genetically modified humans, combating pain through food, and how many holiday drinks can you have with actress Holly Maui. Stay tuned for more.
You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live, Fit Club.
Oh, welcome, Fit Clubbers. We are back. Thank you so much. We got a takeaway from Holly Maui. We took you from Maui. Meowie. I have trouble saying that name. I'm so sorry.
Haven't
Meow.
you ever heard a cat say it?
Well,
Meowie.
I saw
And then
Super
add
Troopers.
a
Meow,
Y.
meow, meow.
Oh, yes.
Meowie.
That's true. I want right meow.
Well,
Right meow.
I'm so glad you joined us. We stole you from TK's earlier show, the wrestling show.
Yeah, here I am. Now I'm here and I match the set here.
Yeah, so thank you so much for
Meant to
joining
be.
us, doing
Yes.
double duty today.
Yes.
We got a great slate of stories. Again, my name is Shaka Smith. I'm joined by my lovely co-host.
Shaka Smith or Shaka Strong? What are we today?
My name is Shaka Smith.
Oh, have you been introducing yourself as Shaka Smith this whole time?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yes.
Run back the tape. My name is TK Trinidad. You can follow me on everything at TK Trinidad.
And of course, our lovely guest.
Holly Meowie, extra meow on the Y.
And where can they find you online?
Well, at the LA Cat Club on Facebook, Holly Meowie on Facebook and on Instagram and on Twitter.
Nice. Good branding all across all social channels.
Yeah.
Well, we got some great stories to talk about. The first one involves a scientist who has genetically modified humans, and this has kind of roiled the scientific community. John Kui, out of China, he used a gene editing tool called CRISPR to genetically modify two twin girls, and basically he made them so that they are not susceptible to HIV. But of course, we don't know what the long-term effects of genetically modifying humans is, whether or not, because those humans, these twins will be able to pass down those genes,
Right.
and we don't know if they'll have any problems later on in life. And it turns out what he modified, CCR5, actually will lower your immunity to other diseases as well. So we really don't know the outcome. And it's sort of been a real big roiling of the scientific community. I want to know what you guys thought about it and what your take on genetically modifying humans is. Maybe it can make us better.
I mean, people have been doing stuff like that as far as like eye color and stuff for a while now. I don't know. It just seems like a setup for a really scary movie. Like it's gonna be the
The
people.
Shining.
Yeah, it's like the people who are genetically modified and they have the money to do that, and then the people who have like regular kids, and the regular kids have they're susceptible to stuff.
They get
because-
all the diseases.
Right, so it just seems like it's a setup for a very scary movie.
Is it only HIV or all the diseases?
Well, for what he modified, the particular gene made them resistant to HIV, but they can modify you, I guess, really for anything that they've identified that they can control.
So these girls are going to be hoes. Pumping around town, no big deal.
and that's part of it, though, is like,
Yeah.
what is the mental effect on these
Yeah.
people but when they know that this
They
is
feel
something?
like they're invincible.
Yeah.
But it's like with the HPV thing, they started giving the kids HPV, like the vaccination, before they were 16.
Yeah, but at least we know the long-term effects in general. We know that something's not going to happen genetically that might be different when you're 30, 40, 50, or 60.
Right.
And you can pass these genes down. The stuff that we do now, you can't pass down. And so that's really been the biggest thing. But I don't know if they can make sure that my kid is going to be a super awesome athlete. Maybe I might want to go for it or gamble.
I thought they were doing things already where you can pick your kid's eye color and face.
These are things I heard.
Like,
These are
whatever.
things I heard. I don't know if they were doing that, but
Yeah.
I had heard about those rumors.
It
Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
takes away from the, say if you can do that gene where you want your kid to be super athletic, it takes away from, the individuality of that kid.
Yeah.
Because their personalities,
Everybody's a
the characteristics.
clone.
Yeah.
But they'll never know.
Yeah, but everybody's a clone and there won't be any more unique people in the world.
Yeah.
Well, no, there will because not everyone can afford this. I'm sure.
Oh.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's set up to a movie. You're gonna have the people who could afford it and the people who
Yeah.
have it the regular way. And it's set up for, because I feel like the people who could afford it, they're the ones who they might live healthy. They might have the genetics. They might have the smarts to
Yeah.
make the money.
Yeah.
So it's just setting up for a further divide.
Yeah, well, it definitely raises some very serious ethical questions. And right now, China's got 9 studies where they're using the CRISPR editing machine. But China denounces this too. This guy's sort of been denounced by the community. But in the U.S. we're studying this less aggressively. So hopefully it's something that we kind of adapt to and figure out some sort of way to go forward.
It's just gonna go all bad.
Being that this is a vegan show,
Essentially.
well, vegetarian vegan show. Have you heard of them trying to make meat out of regular
Yeah.
animal?
Talked about that, yeah.
Have you guys talked about that before? Because
Yeah.
what do you think about? Would you eat that? I personally would not eat that.
Well, it's hard for me to say because I went vegan for health reasons, which became ethical reasons as you start to learn more. So ethical-wise, it kind of does solve that ethical problem.
Right.
And then health-wise, if that meat is not causing the inflammation that traditional meat does, if that meat's actually somehow genetically engineered to be good for me and have, maybe omega-3s somehow, then maybe.
I don't know. Science meat sounds scary. It sounds
does.
like like Soylent Green or something.
Yeah.
That's
I
where
do.
do you know what Soylent Green
Yeah,
is?
of course.
Yeah.
It's
That
people.
movie.
It's people.
It just sounds like it's like fake, but it's not from plant. It's from the actual animal.
Yeah,
and
from
it's
the
like
cell,
a
yeah.
molecule. This is all my science talking right now.
No, I think these are these
Yeah,
are the questions that
it
we're
sounds
like.
weird.
These are the questions we're asking
Yeah.
ourselves right
Yeah.
now. We're living this age.
So I don't know. That kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there
You
was a thing, I watched so many shows. There was somebody who pretty much said that, the people who are resistant to change, it's like you have to realize that at one point people were resistant to, people driving in automobiles. Like,
Rock
that
and
was the
roll.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were resistant to a lot of different things, like buying food at a mass store versus killing it from the farm. Like, people are resistant to a lot of things, and to the point where if we take our ancestors from, a decade ago, or not even a decade, a century ago, they'd look at us like we're crazy.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like maybe, what seems just not natural and normal
Yeah.
will become so normal to other folks, and maybe it won't be a bad thing, or it might.
Well, if you have a percentage of the population who's genetically modified, and then they start having kids who are genetically modified, no one's going to really know who's
It's
who
just
and
like
who's
everybody's
done
gonna
what.
be beige
Right.
eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I know,
but
it's scary.
we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
Our next story involves Seamus Mullen. This guy was on the Iron Chef, working 16-hour days, 90-hour work weeks, and then he found out he had rheumatoid arthritis. And I love this story because what he did was he started to use his food to fight chronic pain. And for him, food was all about just the enjoyment of it, and but a lot of it wasn't healthy for him. So what he did, he stopped processed foods immediately. He found what he dubbed hero foods, foods that fought inflammation. So a lot of avocados and beans, and then he starts to do yoga and weight training and biking as well. So sort of cross training. And so he really wanted to focus on food that heals him rather than food that might cause inflammation. And that's something I've really been focusing on lately. And I know you as a vegan, I'm sure that's something you focus on as well.
Yeah, this is what's helped me, everybody. So, have you ever heard of active charcoal?
I have.
Okay, so there's vegan active charcoal pills at Whole Foods, and I'm like plants sometimes make my stomach really sick. To have too many plants, beans, and all that stuff make my stomach bloated. I have trouble digesting a lot of plant stuff. I've never I don't remember what meat digestion feels like, but I probably would have problems with that
Since 6
too.
years old.
Yeah.
you've been
Since
vegan.
6 years
You're
old,
gonna
I've been a
get sick for sure,
vegetarian.
yeah.
So, but taking these active charcoal pills, it helps you absorb the food better, and it just makes you more comfortable, and just like you can go on with your day without feeling like super bloated or any of that stuff, and helps you like absorb plant-based. It just helps.
Yeah, and then
you know.
detoxifying too,
Yeah.
right?
So that's, your holiday drink.
Yeah.
situation there. No hangover taking those, honey.
Well, I mean, with you, it's sad that we don't try to live the healthy way, so we don't have to have these ailments in order to kind of turn back from that. But I mean, maybe things happen for a reason. So maybe this happened for him to actually see this, and he has enough time to create the recipes and do the stuff, and then pass it on to people who can help people live a better life without them experiencing that. So maybe he's the.
Yeah, and I think it's such a good way to live, because you need to start. And what he did immediately was he started asking himself, is this next thing I'm going to put in my mouth going to help me or hurt me?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how he just started to evaluate all of his food. And I think enough of us don't evaluate our food that way.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
you go to like Burger King or wherever you go, and you get a that's pesticides you're eating. That's not just the meat. People don't think about it.
Yeah, and if
they
you-
don't think.
And if you ask yourself that question, I think you make a different decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're not thinking about where their food comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it's a huge problem that we
Yeah.
have. But he's got 2 books, Real Food Heals and Hero Food. So those are out. You guys can check it out. And hopefully maybe we can get him on the show sometime to address some of this stuff.
All right, like make it happen.
Make it rain.
Our next story is one of my favorite. Is how many holiday drinks are healthy for you to have? Because
Oh, boy.
don't we always
Did you
wonder?
say holly drinks?
Well, yeah,
Oh.
holiday drinks.
100. Me, Kira, been having the mimosas on the weekends.
Yeah, mimosa Sundays.
Yeah, mimosa Sundays.
Well, it's probably not too bad for you.
Yeah.
But you got the American Heart Association and the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetic Sciences saying that 1 drink a day for women is, the optimal.
For the holidays?
Well, in general, they just always say stick to 1 drink a day for women and 2 drinks a day for men. On the other side of that, we got Dr. Vincent Peter, who does gut health. And he says basically you want to do about 1 drink per hour. Make sure you're eating plenty of food, 4 drinks max. And so I don't know about 4 drinks max, but but some of the some of the great tips that they did have was you want to ditch your sugar, so you want to avoid the excessive fruit juices.
There goes my mimosas.
Kind of healthy, though.
Yeah,
Mimosas.
orange juice. I mean, come on,
Right.
orange juice. Trop 50. No, just-
Maybe some Crystal Light in there. I don't know. But tequila is actually one of the lowest calorie alcohols, which I did not realize
didn't
until
realize
yeah,
that. Then
it's
skinny
the lowest.
margaritas.
Yeah, the lowest calories tequila.
Vodka, too.
Yeah,
Vodka
vodka's
and tequila.
pretty low.
Yeah.
Then they say red wine is also healthy. Whiskey's pretty decent for you. And if you're gonna need to add something, kombucha's a great additive.
Oh,
In
I
terms
didn't
of
know you could mix that.
yeah, because it's calorically pretty sound, and it's gonna give you that sort of festive feel because it's got the bubbles in it.
Okay.
And so, do you have a approach to holiday drinking?
I just save up all the drinks during the week and drink them all in one day.
That was one of the things they said not to do.
Oh. And then the activated charcoal. I take that.
I don't know. It's funny because I don't drink that often. Like, I might, but then I might not drink for like 2 weeks or something like that. So
I can't just drink every day.
Yeah. Do that.
Like it's too much.
I don't know. I think maybe the best. Well, people do drink and drive. I was saying you should drive, and so you won't drink.
Oh yeah, probably not.
but
The
yeah,
best.
I Uber.
Yeah, I think I just remain conscious. Like this year, I'm gonna be going to like 8 or 9 parties between tonight and Sunday.
Okay.
And it's just kind of like.
Thank you
That
for the
egg,
invite, right?
That
Hold on.
almond nog.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I
don't
love
know.
almond nog.
I think I might just drink water, but then you don't have. I don't know.
Then
We'll
you-
see.
Well,
Yeah, but then you're not like on the copy machine with your booty, like hi, you're not
Yes,
dancing.
and that's the goal I want.
Yeah.
That's
as long as I end up on the copy machine with my booty.
Then
The
it's right.
office party, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess drink. Definitely, there have been times where I'll drink and then I'll have like a glass of water in
Yeah.
between or some type of juice or
Yeah.
something like that. Definitely, I never try to get to that point where you're just totally.
Yeah.
Well, no one ever
off the
really
rails.
tries until you get there.
Well,
no.
people should take the active charcoal, the vegan one.
And I have done that, and
Yeah,
that has
it
helped.
helps.
Yeah.
And then always some Tylenol, or not Tylenol, but ibuprofen.
She's going for the
Next
she
day,
is going for the
yeah.
heavy day.
Ibuprofen.
Yeah.
And just eat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they say
To
eating's very
eat
important.
before is like huge, and always eat carbs. Don't just eat like a little salad. That's not going to help.
Yeah,
anything.
something heavy to kind of
Yeah,
digest
like
with the
your
alcohol.
vegan pizza.
Oh, I love some vegan
And
pizza.
Yeah.
one of the things they did say was be present, just like you were saying, like be present, enjoy your friends, enjoy the atmosphere, and you might want to pick a drink that you like are more prone to sipping on. So you might want to
Yeah.
if you kind of like a whiskey or an old fashioned.
On the
Sour.
rocks or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Sour drink.
Yeah, and so they say old fashioned, Manhattans, Palomas, gin and tonics, mojitos are all
Sometimes I
pretty
just get
healthy.
vodka on the rocks, like the flavored vodka on the rocks.
Yeah.
Like you can't. Well, I can't
Yeah.
check it back. So now
vodka
you're.
tastes like bleach.
Yeah. No, the flavored ones are really good.
Oh, flavored.
flavored
Yeah,
ones are
no,
really good. Yeah.
flavored's good.
Yeah.
Just the plain.
No, the flavored ones. They usually have the flavored ones. And it's just
Yeah,
like you just
with
sip
the
on
soda
that, and
water,
then
yeah.
you're good.
So yeah, that my approach is just to take it easy, take it drink by drink.
Oh, well, we know what your approach
Yeah,
is.
and do like a drink and then water, drink
Yeah.
and water,
And I
like
do
for
tr-
every
yeah. And you just feel better when you're hydrated.
Yeah. Oh, coconut water too, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the best,
I don't
one
know
of the
why I
best
keep
out
going
there.
like this. I'm not used to those situations. I'm like,
Well, our next story might not make you too happy, but they did find that women, and a recent study found that women sleep better with dogs than they do with cats or their human partners. So this comes out of Canisius College in Buffalo, New York.
Oh, I know Canisius.
So admittedly, the professor who ran it, Christy Hoffman, is a big dog fan, but it looked at 962 women, 55% of whom slept with at least one dog and 31% slept with one cat. And of that group, 57% also slept with a partner. And when they kind of rated their sleep, the sleep cycle, they found that women were overwhelmingly more comfortable with the dog. And what surprised me was that women felt more secure with the dog than they did with their human partner. They did more secure than the cat, which made sense because the dog will alert you. Cats aren't gonna quite alert you if there's an
They
intruder.
could care less.
Yeah. But why would she feel more comfortable than or more secure?
I don't know.
I honestly, in my situation, I have a 3-legged Pomeranian, and she can't sleep on the bed because if she jumps off, that's her only other leg, her only front leg will get broken.
Oh, no.
So she can't sleep with me, and then my dog Pumpkin Patch has the worst gas.
Oh, no.
So I don't sleep with her and she wets the bed now too. So
Oh,
she's
no.
senior.
Is she
she's
older? Oh, okay.
yeah, so
Yeah.
she's lost it all. And my cat Emoji is the best cuddle muffin.
Wait, the name of the cat's emoji?
His Emoji, my cat, my Mancoon, my rescue Mancoon, he literally is like the best cuddle buddy, and he purrs you to sleep. See,
Oh.
dogs cannot purr you to sleep, my friend.
Yeah. My dog, R.I.P.
They just
Dribbles,
smell.
used to snore.
You might have been like an outlier in the study. They had to
Yeah.
throw your data out.
Well, I
They
guess,
would have thrown my dad out.
I guess it depends on the dog too, because some dogs, like I had a Pekingese, and he snored like a
Yeah,
grown man.
the dogs
Yeah.
snore.
Like, so he would never be anywhere near my room. Like his bed was outside, so that was never.
Purring
yeah.
is so much nicer than snoring.
But they say that the dog's sleep cycle tends to mirror more the human sleep
Oh
cycle.
yeah, they tend to go to sleep the same time you go to sleep.
They don't wake up at the same time. They're up wanting to go potty,
Yeah.
and tapping, dancing on the floor to try to get outside.
Well, they found
Yeah.
that people that had dogs actually went to bed earlier and woke up earlier.
'Cause we have to walk them.
Yeah, so I think if you're maybe someone who's looking to get better sleep and be more active, you might want to go with the dog.
Maybe. Yeah, well, you definitely have to have a cycle. Like I have a friend
Yeah.
who like he cycle like he comes straight home from work, he walks the dog, then he goes to work out. Like he
Yeah, they have more of a schedule. People
Yeah.
that have dogs.
I don't like schedules, so I'm gonna stick with the cats on that one.
But if you're looking at pets for your fitness regimen, I guess maybe a dog is
Yeah,
better.
if you want, the fitness, or
Yeah.
just
And
get
then
a Fitbit.
Yeah.
But dogs can run with you too, you know.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
can. The younger ones.
Yeah, my 3-legged dog is not, the ideal fit
Oh,
mate.
no. hopefully, are you gonna get any more?
Well, I have a cat rescue, so I got tons of cats.
Oh,
so I
wow.
have to. I can't have any more dogs right now
Yeah.
because I've got so many cats.
How many
Like
cats do you have?
I have like 15 cats.
Wow.
But like most of them
rescue.
are for adoption.
Yeah, yeah.
So
But she's like, I'm gonna keep them all.
yeah, I have my own core
Yeah.
kitties that I have at my house, and then I have some fosters, and then I have fosters that foster for me because I'm a 501 nonprofit.
Oh, that's
the
amazing.
LA Cat Club. It's my.
I think can I foster a cat?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want?
We'll talk. We'll
have a heart attack.
I could see Shaka now posting thirst traps with the cat
Okay.
on Instagram. It's only a matter of time.
Well, hey, pets gotta get some love too.
Oh,
But
goodness.
our last story is for those of us who always aren't that consistent. They did find that a single workout actually is beneficial even days after the workout. This one comes out of the UT Southwestern Medical Center. They found in mice that they actually had higher metabolism rates, reduced appetite, and lower blood glucose levels 2 days later in terms of one neuron that was activated during working out. So I thought this was excellent news because a lot of people feel guilty when they make it to the gym a couple of days but are off for a couple of days. But your work isn't lost. What's your sort of regimen? How often are you making it to the gym? And I know it's tough to always be active, and then you're as an actor, and then you got to be these commitments and these commitments. How do you manage it all?
I I go on YouTube and I look for the 8-minute abs and the 8-minute things.
Yeah.
You know, so that I'm only doing like 16 minutes and then I'll take a shower and do what I gotta do. Those are the days that I can't make it to Pilates or to the gym. I'll do those little 8-minute ab things because got to keep the stomach tight.
That's so smart. I never think about going to YouTube. That's so smart.
My friend, she
YouTube.
does that too.
Yeah.
She did like a whole like dance thing. You can get
you can get any
YouTube.
video, and it can be short, long, depending on whatever time you have allotted for just a quick workout. And walk everywhere. Park far away and walk. Don't be that lazy bum that parks in that or like parks in the handicap when you don't have the handicap sticker. I've seen those people.
Or they wait 30 minutes to circle and
don't
circle
be
to get that
person.
first.
I'm always like, when I'm at the mall and someone's literally waiting for me to get out of my spot and there's like a million spots kind of in the distance, I'm like, why?
Yeah, I always just head to the back just for timing because by the time you head to the back, it's just like it's instead of sitting in the car, you can get your shopping done and be back in the car.
And I do those small things in case I do miss the gym, so I have some extra activity going on.
Yeah, we're just always do that. Squat everywhere you go. Papa squat.
I like that. Squat everywhere you go. That's got to be like the new slogan. Squat everywhere you go. And I think you had a bit of celebrity news for us.
Oh yeah, there's this thing. Well, I think this has been happening a lot in the culture. Taraji P. Henson. So she's now become a vegan because she was told that she was on her way to stomach cancer. So she was on the set, she was filming, she was in Atlanta, and she was having some issues. Saw a doctor and was like, look, this is a situation. If you want to prevent this from happening because it's in her family, then I suggest this is the type of diet that you should start. Her new husband, who's absolutely fine, former football player, that's what she's
brief aside.
That's what she started cooking, like vegan, vegetarian stuff for them. And the thing too is you're in such a great place because I remember because my dad, like I mentioned before, is vegetarian, and you just get the veggie bacon, which tastes terrible. And back in the day, but now we're in such a great place that there's so many different options. Yeah. Like if you feel for some type of chicken supplement or chicken substitute, then you can get that at the Ralph's. You don't have to go to back in Toronto at that time. You had to go to like a special vegan. They had them in these.
And it was probably like 3 times the price than it should have been.
Yeah, it's just all bad. So we're in such a great place now where you can find these. It's not as hard to be a vegan, depending on the city that you're in.
And it's just so awful that we get those messages after we get sick, rather than before.
Oh my God, the stores have so many great things for sure. Like, it's no longer just Morningstar.
Yeah.
You know? Like, there's like Follow Your Heart is like, I'm their biggest fan. Their non-fat vegan mayo is like my life.
And it's so and beyond just like influencing people like social media wise, like for you and for like Taraji, when they're on sets, they get the vegan food accommodated to them, which means the crew's gonna get it, the extras are gonna get it. It actually trickles down to where people are exposed to it a lot more than you think, even directly.
And then they stop taking the meat, and all the vegan food's gone first.
Yeah,
that's what I've noticed on set. I'm like, wait a minute,
hold up.
Why is all the vegetarian vegan food gone first, and then the all that's left is the meat?
Because they're like, this is actually better for me, and I feel better. Yeah,
and then they're wasting the animal.
Yeah,
like when they throw away the meat because they all ate all the vegetarian food.
Well, hopefully it like cuts into the bottom line and makes those animal producers make good vegan food instead.
Yeah.
So, and I want to talk to you about your upcoming project. You got a little something in the works?
Yes.
What can you talk about? What can't you talk about?
Well, I'm in a horror film, and not like a horror. It's like a scary film. Yeah. I'm not like a hoe in it. Well, I'm kind of hoe in it. But my boobs are showing, but not nude.
Teaser.
Not nude. But yeah, so I'm in it with actually Taya Kira Meowkins. I like, those are all her names. She's one of the wrestlers on Lucha Underground, the show that we're on. And it's actually directed by her husband, John Morrison Mundo. Like all the names. He has like so many names. Hennigan is his last name. And it's with a bunch of other wrestlers. It's called the Iron Sheik Massacre. You can follow it on Instagram.
Nice.
The pictures are crazy.
Yeah, and we're in post now, so it will come out probably in springtime-ish, I would say. And we're really excited because it's like a first project that we've worked all together on besides Lucha.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun filming it. Pretty hilarious. Like,
It looks good.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. I can't say too much because I don't want to give spoilers away, but
Nice.
it's demonic.
However, because I don't like horror, I don't like scary films. So I was talking to Taya about this, and she said I'll be able to handle it.
Oh yeah,
So-
it's funny.
Yeah.
There's some funny aspects.
So-
I mean, I'm in it, so like, you
So
know.
when they have the red carpet, we'll
yeah,
make sure
for
Shaka's
sure.
on there.
And then when you do lucha, did lucha change like the way your approach to fitness or your intensity in the gym, or just like how you view it? Yeah.
So luchas, especially this season. This season, we were in this ice house and we had to climb this giant ladder in order to get. I had to climb this ladder in heels in order to get up to the top, to order to walk down these tiny stairs.
Oh.
And by the time you get to the ring, it's like you need a lot of like stamina, and you know, I was carried down those stairs a few times because the stairs were like so tiny and my shoes were wider than the stairs, so it was like it just was a lot. It was an interesting set this time, so it helped when I went to the gym and really worked out. I did a lot of Zumba. I love Zumba and like
Nice.
Latin dancing, and I felt like that also helps me be extra sassy in the ring too. But also when you're in the ring in heels, I mean, it's hard to be in a ring in heels. You're like jumping around, like you're
Oh my
like
Yeah.
body.
Yeah.
So people always are like, Holly can't walk in those heels. Well, you try to get in a ring
Yeah.
with like it bouncing all over the place with people in flats and you're in heels. Of course I can. Like people just think I'm, you know, can float or something. Like, come on. But yeah, so like going to the gym helps you have more energy and more stamina to do things that, you know, you wouldn't normally do. And
Yeah,
so
that's
definitely
crazy.
when lucha comes about again, I kick in my gym way more in gear than I am. I'm instead of like 5 days, I'll do 7 days.
Okay, nice.
You know.
So that's your high intensity moment. And
Yeah,
how,
like a month in advance.
I was gonna say,
I'll
how early
really-
do you start
yeah.
preparing? A month in advance?
in advance.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh man, well we just want to thank you for joining us on this short
Yeah,
notice.
thanks for
we
having
stole
me.
you. We got to have you back so we can really dig in.
Dig into them vegan mashed potatoes.
Yeah. I want to hear more about your vegan story because you went vegan at 6. Can you give us a quick?
I'll just do quick. But yeah, so my babysitter, he showed me the movie Faces of Death at age 6.
Oh.
And Faces of Death, I don't know if anybody's seen that, but it's basically live animals are being eaten alive on that. It's a horror film, and
Oh.
live animals are literally being eat. A lamb, the one I saw, the lamb was being eaten alive, screaming by a vampire, but it was really being eaten alive.
Oh,
It's
so
like real.
I'm not watching
Oh.
this.
Yeah, they eat monkey brains for real.
Yeah.
And it was so traumatic as a child. I didn't realize that animals were food. I didn't know. My
Yeah,
parents
yeah.
didn't tell me. My dad's from Oklahoma, okay? Like, he did not tell me. So, like, yeah. So, basically, I was like, I am not eating any living creature. No
That'll do
way.
it. Faces of Death to 6-year-old.
Yeah.
That'll
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Terrible babysitter.
Yikes.
Never have a boy babysitter.
But that's kind of interesting, though. I think it's interesting, though, that you made the conscious decision. At 6. I just
Yeah.
thought like maybe your parents made you and you kind of
No,
went with it. No,
I
yeah.
told my parents I'm not doing it anymore.
I find kids now, though, well, maybe, because there's like the age difference now. I know a lot of kids, like my eyelash lady, her son's a vegan. Like she's not
And
a
she's
vegan.
not vegan, wow.
Yeah, so she cooks him vegan meals. Like one of the ladies I used to train back in the days, her daughter's a vegan. So it's just one of those things where
And they can see it now on Twitter
Yeah,
and
it's all
Facebook and
over the place.
Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah.
We like you live in your own house. You never saw it back in the
Yeah.
day. Well, again, thank you for joining us on
Oh,
short
yeah,
notice.
for
This is
sure.
awesome. Again, guys, my name is Shaka Smith. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Shaka Strong. And you can find my co-host, Miss Trinidad,
you can find me on everything at TK Trinidad.
and Miss Meow.
You can find me wherever you find cats, and Holly Meowie on Instagram, Holly Meowie on Twitter, LA Cat Club on Facebook to adopt some kitties from me, please, for the holidays.
I gotta get mine. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks, guys.
Meow, meow.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.